object oriented programming is. What exactly this object oriented programming is? So in Python, as we know, everything is object, right? In Python, everything is object only. So whenever we used to create what any or any variable internally, that is object. Internally, that is object. Okay. So you just need to like whenever you are going to like write a Python program, then you need to say that okay, either I'm going to write in functional way or what, or either I'm going to write in object oriented way. In object oriented.
Hello.
Yes, just a minute, Sneh. I'm having some issue today. Actually, lots of noise are there. So okay, fine, guys. See, whenever we are going to say, I told that in Python everything. Okay, in Python, my voice is clear now. Yes, just confirm for the last
Yes,
time. My
sir.
voice is clear now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, in Python, everything. Okay, everything is an object. Everything is an what object. Now, to create an object, objects, what you need, we require to create an objects, we require, okay, require something, okay, we require some model, okay, some kind of model or plan, or okay, or you can say or a blueprint, okay, or a blueprint, which is nothing, which is known as class, okay, which is known as class. So more in lemon style, so let me open paint actually. So paint, see, whenever you are going to create anything, for example, I said a equal to, okay, if I'm saying a equal to 10, then internally what it is happening actually. So internally Python has declared a class, okay, class, which is what, a model, or you can say a blueprint. For example, if you are constructing a home, okay, if you are constructing a good home, then a good home has a good design first you will try to design a good home design, right? First you will try to design a good like layout or blueprint of that home, okay. After then only you are going to construct the home, and just by following the same design, this is model, and just by following this model you can produce what, you can build different houses or different homes at different places, right? Yes, please confirm guys if I'm correct. So
Yes,
a engineer has designed a like has designed a design for what, architecturing for a home, okay. Now what he is doing, he is going to sell this design to, not to a only a single person, he will sell the same design to what, multiple person. So those multiple person is going to build what, their own home. So this their own home will have something different from this design as well. They will try to change color, they will try to change some small modifications are going to be made by them. Why? Because they now, after paying that, after taking the design, they have their own way. Okay, so they can add something more. Okay, they can add something more. So those are called objects. Okay, those are called objects of this class. So this object will have all the common or all the properties of this class. Apart from this class property, it might have the property of its own as well. Property of its own as well. Okay. So this is nothing but what in programming, this model is nothing but class, and this building is nothing but object, which has been created by using the like a design of a house or the class. Okay, so whenever we try to make what anything in Python or declare anything in Python internally, that is an object. Internally, that is an object. Is it clear? Yes, guys. Please let
Yes.
me know if it is clear to you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now see, we can create class, okay, to represent what its properties. So we can create a class, okay, create a class to represent, okay, to represent its what its properties, to represent its what properties. These properties are also called attributes. These properties are also called what attributes and actions, okay, and some actions. And to perform some action, you can say represent its properties and to perform to perform some actions, some actions. Okay, these are nothing these actions may be called as what behavior, may be called as what behavior of the what of the object, of the object, right? Now in class, okay, in class, these properties, okay, these properties, okay, let not these like properties can be represented by variables. Okay, these properties can be represented by variables and 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 actions. Okay, actions can be represented by whom? Methods. Okay, methods. Till now we were like used to of doing things we using functions. Now we will be like doing the same thing using object oriented open also. Okay, and try to that what exactly the difference between object oriented programming and functional programming is. Okay, so hence class like we can say that, so we can say that a class contains what? Contains both a variable, okay, both what? Variables and what? And methods, right? And methods. Now what is the syntax to define a what? Syntax to define a class. Okay, so syntax, okay, of class. Okay, syntax of what? Class. So in Python, we can define, okay, we can define a class by using what? By using a keyword, okay, keyword, by using class keyword, by using what? Class keyword, okay. That is how. So see, this is how we are going to declare. So here I will be saying, so let me write, let me create today's folder. So here we are in what? Class 36. So let me go here, class 36, class 36, and here I will be writing what? I will be creating a file called class.py, class.py. Okay, and here see class program. See what is the syntax? So syntax. So see, syntax is something called, this is class keyword, and just followed by class, you need to write what? Class name. To write what? Class name. Right now, this class name, it is going to contain several things. The first thing which it might contain what? Doc string. Okay, documentation string we call it. Yeah, it is what? Doc string or documentation string. documentation string. So this documentation string is used to just tell something about this class. Okay, it is going to tell you that okay, for what this class has been created or modeled, or what will be the function of this class. Okay, after that it is going to contain some variables. Okay, so this variable can be of different types. Okay, this variable can be of different types. So what are the different types? So there can be instance variable. Okay, sorry, there can be instance variable, which we call it as object variable as well, instance variables. After that, static and local variable as well, local variables as well. So those are different types of variable possible in what, inside a class. After that we can have methods. Okay, we can have our methods. Now method can also be what, instance type. Okay, instance method. So instance method. After that, static method and static static method. Okay, methods. And what, and we can also have what, class method. Okay, class methods. So we are going to learn each kind of methods as well. We are going to learn each kinds of method as well here. Okay, so this is what, this is the complete syntax how you can write your program. Minimal syntax to write a program. Rest like less than it, you cannot write any meaningful program without those fundamental things. You can write like without those variable and methods, but there will be no use to write a program or if a class which does nothing. If you are designing a house, then that house should be what, the house should be containing of different rooms or something, at least something. What you are going to do just by saying that I am going to encircle my just by four walls, then that is not a what, that is not a house. Actually, house design, it's a just a boundary design. So I will copy this and I will paste it here. Okay, I will paste it here. Right, after this, you see in the above. Okay, in the above syntax, so documentation string. Okay, documentation documentation string documentation string represents, okay, represents description. Okay, description of the class. Okay, description of the class. Within the class, doc string is always optional. Okay, and within, okay, within the class, this doc string, this doc string is an optional, is optional. Okay, is optional. Without it also you can write it, no issue at all. Okay, now we can get doc string. So we can get doc string. Okay, doc string by using uh, in two ways. We can get a doc string of a class in two ways. Okay, so what are those two ways? So the first way is to by using what, by using by using class name. Okay, class name dot dunder doc method. Okay, class name dot underscore dunder doc like a property, by using what, class name dot dunder doc property. Okay, after that the second one is what, help class name. Help class name, that class name if you are going to write inside help, then that is going to give you the doc string. Okay, now let us see an example. Okay, let us see an example. So here I have written the syntax. Now I will come here and try to write what, a student class. Okay, a student class. Right, now a student class, this class is going to, I want to create what, a student class. So first I will use what, keyword as class. After that, what will be the name of my class, a student. So I will write a student. Right, so this is the class which I have created. Now inside this class I'm going to write something about this class. So triple quotes here, it is the doc string. Going to say this is, okay, this is a student class, a student, sorry, a student class which provides information about student, about students. Okay, a student. This is our doc string. So I will try to comment also doc string. Okay. After this, what I want to print what will be the doc string of what is going to. This is what I haven't created what anything else. Okay. And here after declaring class, what I want, I'm that I want to print what is the class name? A student, right? So I said the student dot underscore underscore doc. I just access dunder doc property of this student class. Okay, so my intention is to know why this class has been written. Okay, why this class has been designed. What are the things which the designer or the like author of this class wanted to convey us? Okay, our intention is that. So I will come here and try to open my terminal here only. I will try to open my terminal here only and just waiting for a time. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I will be running this program. So Python, what is the program name? Class.py, right? Hit enter. See what it gave. It gave all the documents which are there, which is present as a doc string in that class. Yeah, guys, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, now the second way, how in interactive way you can do by using help, and here as well you can do by help. So here just see a student, and again I'm going to run this program. Okay, again I'm going to run this program. So this help try to give you all kind of information about this class. So see, after after getting that this is a student, after that it says that help on class student in module main. Okay, dunder main. See, dunder main tells that if it is what independent module or not. Okay, if it returns what main, it means that it is independent module. Okay, if it returns main, it means what it is an independent module. If it returns the file name, then it what it is a module imported from somewhere. Okay, so see here it's saying that class student, it is what built-ins dot object. It is inheriting one built-in object class. It is inheriting what built-in object class. Am I clear, guys? Please try to concentrate here. See, here the property of inheritance, it is obeying. When once we will be jumping in inheritance, then this will be more clear to you. Okay. So here see, even if I am creating a class, then internally Python says that this class is also an object. Okay. Object of type of built-in dot objects type of what built-ins dot object type. Okay. Is it clear, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and
Yes.
it has what? It has a variable called dunderdict. It has a variable called what? Dunderdict. And after that, data descriptors defined here. Any data if there is there, then it will define here. After that, it has a doc string, and this doc string has been written here. Okay. So just like our program, we can access built-ins of the in the same manner actually. Okay, so I will hit enter, see this. So these are what? These are some of the different references, default things which will be available in our program by default. Okay, so let me come here and let me control all copy this, and after that paste in our notes. So I will say paste. Oh, sorry. So I will have to use this one, paste it. Fine. Now see, this was what? This was the example of your class name. Right, this was the example of your what? Class. So how to create class and how to get help of the class. Now within the Python class, we can represent data by using variable. Okay, so in Python class we can represent, okay, represent any data by using what? By using variables. By using what? Variables. Why? Because by variable is going to store the data. Okay, so basically in Python, there are three types of variable. Three types of what? Allowed variable. Allowed variables. Okay, what are those? So the first one is what? Instance variable. First one is what? Instance variables. Okay, these are also called object level variable. These are also called what? Object level variable. Object level variable. Okay. After that, there is what? Static variables. Static variables. Okay. These are also called class level variables. Class level variables. Okay. After that, there is what? Local variables. Okay. Local variables. So these are called method level variables. Method level variables. Okay. So each variable has their own scope. Based on that scope, we have defined three types of variable in what? In Python. Okay, so within Python class we can represent what? Operations. if if we want to perform some operation, some some operation. Okay, let me, so perform, yes, perform some operation inside a class, then 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 we use what? Then uh, we we can do it, then we can do it by using what? By using method. Okay, methods. In another word, we can say, that operations. Okay, operations uh, to be performed. Okay, we can say that methods represents the operations. Okay, operations which need to be done. Okay, for example, adding, subtracting, for all those things we are going to create a separate methods. Okay, the various types of allowed methods in Python are. Okay, so just like variable, we have three methods also. Instance method, which we call it object level method. After that, class method, which is declared inside a class. After that, static method. So static method is some special method. I will try to illustrate all those things. Okay, now let's create an example with what? All the state and behavior of a what? So let's see an example. Okay, class example. Class with its state and behavior. Okay, so state of a class is represented by its variables, and behavior of a class is represented by its method. So let's see the example. So I will try to again go what? Into VS Code. So let me go here. Fine. So now I will create one more example. I will say class a student. Okay, I will say class a student, or I will say a student.py. A student.py. Okay, this is what I have created, a student class. Okay, so I will say a student class. Okay, now simply I need to create a class. So I will say class, what will be the name of my like class? A student. So I said a student, and now this student class is going to contain what? This student class is, first of all we will be saying what? We will be saying the doc string. So I will say that class a student developed by Apurva and Snehal. Okay, this is what I have defined. Okay, after that I need to create what? Variable. Okay, I need to create what? Variable in a class. So I will say that, okay, any variable. Okay, you can create any variable at the class type. You can tell it as something, you can take it as C. how you are going to define a class. First, before that, I will define a by default method, okay, which is going to be executed each time when you are going to whenever you are going to write a program. So it is init method, okay, it is init method. After that, I will be saying that define init self. Now this self is a variable.
Hello, sir.
Self is a variable which points to this object, which points to this object. Yes.
Hello, sir. In
Yes,
it
yes.
is
Yes,
remaining.
yes, yes. Got that. Got that. Init T is missing. Fine. So now, if I want to create a class variable, okay, a variable of this class, so I will have to say self dot, okay. After that, because self is pointing to this class, so I want to create a variable for this class. So I will say dot. After that, what variable name I want to create? I want to create a name variable of this student class. So I will say self dot student, and I am going to say that what will be the name? Apurva. Okay. After that, I say self dot age. Okay. Self dot age. So I will be saying, okay, the age is 36. Okay. After that, I will say self dot marks. Okay. Self dot marks. I will be saying marks is what? Something 78. Okay. So these are variables or state of class which you have set. Okay, you have set. Now there is a what? There is a operation which Apurva likes to, or any student would like to do, talk. Okay, so I will say speak. Okay, speak, or you can say that test. Okay, test. Now I will say this test is a method. Okay, test is what? A method. See how to define method. Just like a function, but that function if we declare inside a class, then we call it as method. And this method, when we call that this method is of what? This a student class, then we will have to like call a special variable which points to this object, which is called what? Sorry, which points to this class, which is called what? Which is called self. Okay, now this is a what? Method pointing to this class. It means that it is a method of this student class. Okay, now this method will test. Okay, so this method is going to test that if, okay, it says that if marks, okay, if self dot marks, okay, self dot marks is greater than what? Greater than 60, then do what? Then print you are pass. Okay, you are pass. Other than that, do what? Else you write, what? Print you are failed. You failed in the test. Okay, so this is what? This is the method which we are performing as of now. Okay, so this was what? This was class method. Now the class which we have created, our class intends to take what? Set a three state of this class. Okay, there are three states of this class, and there is one behavior of this class. Okay, what is the behavior? Behavior is to test the student, and the states are what? To store name, age, and marks of the student. Okay, now we have created a blueprint. Okay, we have created a blueprint. Now how we can create an object from this class? Okay,
Hello.
now how? Yes, Snehal.
Can you re-explain the fourth line, what it is and
Okay, do
what
you
it?
want to re-explain, right?
Yes, means in more detail, how it works.
Yes, yes, definitely I will do that. For that only I'm here. Okay, see, let me first come here, paste it here. Okay, and after that, let me come here and try to explain on paint. So this is our program, right? This is what our program is. So here we have try to take a class. Okay, we have tried to define a class. Now, when we call class a student, okay, whenever we are going to call class a student, then this is going to create a design. Okay, so this class a student, suppose that this is the class, then it will say that, okay, this is a class. This class has what? Three states. So what are those three states? So this will create three variables of what these names. So what is those? So first is name, second one is what age, and third one is what marks. Okay. Third one is what marks. So these are what? These are three states. Right now, what are the default value you have set to it? It will create with what? Apurva 3678, right? So this is our class which you have created. Now you are saying that it has one method also. So that method is named as what? Test. This method is test, and it is testing that if marks is okay, if marks is greater than 60, then pass. Okay, then pass, other than fail. Okay, other than fail. Then this is the class which you have defined. Okay, this class, whenever you are going to see in memory, then it will highlight two things, that this class has three states. Okay, these are three states. State represented by variable, represented by variables. Okay, how can decide that these variables are of this student class only? So this is special self variable. Okay, this is a special self variable. This special self points, okay, points to the current class. Okay, current class. What is your current class? What is your current class? So the class inside which I am writing this self, that is current class. So this self is pointing to this class, and this self is the only variable due to which you are pointing to, you are saying that these all variables are of this student class only, and this test method is of what? Self. This test method is of what? A student class only. Okay, even if you are not going to write first argument as self, then by default it will take a self as a first argument. Okay, by default it will take a self variable as a first argument. Either it is what? Either it is a method, or either it is a what? A dunder init method. Okay, both. The first variable of any method inside a Python class is okay, and you can name anything. It's not about self. You can name this variable anything, but for industry standardization, or for industry and standard, we keep it self only, to just not mislead the concept. Okay, because self has some meaning, that okay, point to the self class. Okay, for example, I myself do the homework. It means that sitting myself, like I myself do the homework, there is no other person. Similarly, these all variables are of itself a variable. It's meant they are all this class own variable. Okay, the same manner, this test function is itself a function. Sorry, self method, not function. Self method. So this method is also what? A student's method. Is it clear, Snehal?
Yes.
Yeah. Any doubt till now?
Uh, is it
No.
necessary always to write the states inside init?
Look, I will discuss it. Just wait for 5 to 10 minutes. That is going to be resolved. Okay, just maintain the curiosity. Now, our first thing is that we have created the class. What is the use of that class? First thing, you will tell that, okay, the same thing as you said, that those much drama we did. Now, what is the like outcome of this drama? Are we going to just get some rewards from someone so that we have performed this kind of drama? So yeah, the outcome of this class write-up is that now whenever you need some student, okay, which have the same properties, okay, and which might contain the same what method, then you don't need to rewrite that class from scratch. You will say that just refer to that class. I want an object of like that only. I want an object of like that only. It's a like you can say that it is a kind of, for example, when we make brick, then to make a brick, we make a what? Mold, right? By a single mold, we prepare what? Crores of brick, right? Crores of brick. Am I right?
Yes.
So to prepare different design of brick, you will have different types of mold. Am I right? So in the same way, for different requirements of programmatic environment, we will creating what different okay, so that in real time we can utilize those classes and we can create couple of or thousands of objects from that class. For example, just for example, there is a class init. Okay, init what in Python. By using this class init, we create lots of objects like 10, 15, 20, and after that I will try to convert list type also inside like to what object type by using int object. Sorry, by using what int function of this int class. Okay, so all those transformation took place. Okay, took place due to what? Due to this class only. If there will be no int class, then where this function is going to come from? Okay, it is not going to work properly. So let me go there again. So coming here, see here the use of this class is to create an object. Okay, now your first question will be, so in our program we have created, okay, created a student class. Okay, a student class which has some state, okay, state or data and and which performs, okay, and behavior, okay, behavior which performs some task, perform some what task, right? Now to just make use of this class, we will be like learning what object, how to create an object from this class so that we can try to make this class in real. Okay, right now it's concept that okay, there will be a student which will have something name this, age this, marks this. Okay, but it's not in reality. It is just in theoretical part. Now, how to make it real? To make it real, we try to extract information from it and try to create a real world what object, a real world instance of this class, and that instance of this class is only called what called as an object. Okay, so let me write object. Okay, so object, see physical presence, okay, or physical existence of, okay, of a class, is called what, is called an object. Okay, so or you can tell that, or an object is an, okay, is an instance of a class. Okay, of a class. We can create any number, okay, any number of objects from a single class, okay. Now how to create a syntax, okay, syntax to create an object. Okay, syntax to create an object. What is the syntax by following which you can create an object? Okay, so the syntax is simple. I will try to create an object of this class student. I will try to create an object of this class student. So I will say creating a student object, a student class object. Okay, creating what, a student class object. See, simple. To create a like object, first you need to create a variable which is going to point that object. Okay, which is going to store the reference of this object. For example, see, I will come here. So suppose that we created an object of this class. Okay, now how we can access? Suppose that in computer memory it is at 1010. Okay, it is staying somewhere at 1010. This has what name? Name is what? Apurva age as what? 36. And marks as what? Marks is something called 78. And there is what? Test. Okay, test method as well. Okay, something. So this is there an object staying at what some position in our computer system. But how we are going to access this location so that we can take advantage of this class? Now there must be some variable storing this what 1010 address, so that you can point this address and you can identify that okay, this is an object of this student class residing at memory 1010 in our computer system, right? Now, this object is created by a single, like a very simple syntax actually. For example, it is a student. So I just need to say that I want to create a student object. This is the syntax to create an object. So we created a student object. So this is the student object. It will be created as soon as this line of code is going to execute in the interpreter. Okay. Now to access or to just get to know about where exactly this object is going to present, we will try to store this object in a variable. Okay. So I will say std1 and store this object in object what object memory space or object location in this variable. Now whenever we want to access the particular property or function of this object, we can take help of this std1, right? We can say that okay, std1 tell me where this object name is. Okay, so it will say okay, just come with me, this std1 represents this address. Okay, now after reaching here, just call what name, you are going to get the name. Okay, in the same way, if I will say I want to get age, then it will say just come with me, now I am at the object place, now call age. So I will say age, then it will give me the age. Okay, is it clear guys? Hello.
Yes.
Is it clear, Apurva?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any confusion till now?
No,
No.
sir.
For you, any confusion?
No. No.
Fine. Fine. Just after this, I will ask you to create a class. Okay. So be prepared for that. And if you have any confusion, let me know. Okay. So see here. Now, just moving here. So I will tell that, okay, after coming here, I want to create what a student class. So first I will declare what? First, the syntax will be variable name. Okay. Variable name. Variable name. After that, here you are going to write, or you know, in general this is called reference of that object. So here we can call it as what? Reference variable, which is referring to you to what instance of an object. Okay, so I will say here class name. Okay, here you need to use what? Class name, and just call it this class name, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. It is the syntax which creates an object. Okay, and after that, it is the reference of that object is being stored in what? In this variable. So in real time, I will what? std1. Okay, a student one. Okay, a student one, and I'm saying I will be creating a student class. So a student. Okay, so I created a student class. Okay, I created a student class. Now you will tell that what is this reference variable? What is this reference variable? All right. So let me clear it. Let me clear it. So here I have created a student class. Now if I'm going to, so I will try to execute this and I will try to show you. Okay. So what is the program name? Python student.py. I hit enter. Okay. I hit enter. And after that, I will say help. Okay. Help a student, so that I can know that what exactly this. Okay. What it is giving. I have made some mistake, I guess. Help a student.py. Ah, okay. Okay. I think I have got my, just 1 minute, guys. I am getting a call. Sorry guys, so here what is the problem? We'll try to see spelling check. It's saying okay, the term a student is not recognized as the name commandlet. Okay, why it's not identifying? So class a student, right? S2 a student. Mm, Student one I have declared, and here I will try to write again help. Okay, after that I will say student. See, okay, it might be sometime what happens that this is PowerShell, right? So sometime PowerShell try to produce some error. Okay, so I will do what? I will say that I want to go to my command prompt, and there I will try. So in command prompt, I want to land on what? At this position here. So in Python here, we need to go in class what? Sorry, CD class 36, right? Here I need to say Python student.py, and here I need to call help. Okay. Sorry, what mistake I was doing, I got to know. Even in PowerShell also we can do the same. The thing is that here we haven't opened the Python in interactive mode. So whatever we want to do, if I want to execute, we can call here itself. I doing a foolish thing. So here I will say student, okay, a student. And after that, if I'm going to run it, okay, so if I will run it, see, it is going to give something, okay. So class student developed by Apurva Snehal, okay, method defined here. So if I will say, see, there is something, okay, there is something. As I will go below, you are going to get all those things. So in itself, and there is what, test function, sorry, test like method. Okay, this test method contains what? Something, some process is going to contain. So data discrepancy is defined here, dict. After that, nothing. So this is what? This is the proper what this what it dunder in itself does actually. Let me see who was okay. You guys can hear my voice, right? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Just yes. See, you were asking that what this dunder init is this. See, this is initializing this object actually. Okay, initialize self. Okay, help self. If you want to know more about, you can just type help self, and you can know more thing about that. But as of now, just understand that this self is going to point to the current object only. Okay, so this is the class. Now after creating object, I haven't done, I have just created an object and I haven't used that object. So now what I'm going to do, I want to use this object. Okay, but we can use this object just by the help of what? By the help of this reference variable only. So I will copy this and I will paste it here. Okay, so I will say code, and here I will paste. Okay, so in our program, we have created, okay, created an object of what? Object of a student class. Okay, object of what? A student class. Now to access, okay, to access or use, okay, use that object, we need reference. Okay, so now your question might be, what is reference variable? What is reference variable? Okay, so your thought must be what is reference variable? So see, the variable which can be used to refer an object. Okay, so the variable which refers, okay, refers or points, okay, points to the object, to the object, okay, object of a class is called what? Is called a reference variable. Is called a what? Reference variable. Okay, is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
So now what we can do by using reference variable. So by using this reference variable, by using this reference variable, what we can do is we can access, okay, we can access the properties, okay, the properties and methods of of that referred object, okay, that referred object, the object whom that variable is referring, okay, the object whom that variable is referring, okay. So I will be showing an example, the same example I'm going to make some changes in the previous program. Just here, see here, after creation I will be saying that displaying, okay, or accessing the variables, okay, variables and methods of a class, of an object, of an okay, of an object by using, okay, by using an a reference variable, a reference variable, not a actually reference variable, its reference variable it will, by using its reference variable, okay, by using its reference variable. Now how we can do that? Simply I will say what I'm going to tell that, okay, I'm going to tell that I want to access the age property, so I will say print, okay, print. Now I will say that the name, okay, the of the student, okay, the name of the student is, okay, the name of the student is. Now what we need to do, okay, what we need to do here, we can say that a student one dot name, okay, the name of a student is what, a student one dot name, because I want to know the name of a student one object, okay. So I will say print the age of the student is, okay, the, of the student is, right. So the age of the student is something called uh, a student one dot age, okay, a student one dot age. After that I will say print, okay, print the after that what variable was there, the marks, okay, the marks of the student is, okay, the marks of the student is what, I will say student one dot marks, right. Now I will say that print, okay, print, okay, now I will say what, now I want to check that whether what that student is pass or fail. So for that I have declared what, a function, sorry, a method inside that class. So I will say a student one dot test, okay, a student one dot test I want to call, and it will tell me that whether that student is pass or fail. So till now I have just like created a very small class, okay, and I am just using all the defaults values of what this class. I am not passing any values of my own, okay. I'm just using already whatever I have initialized in my program, okay. Those values I'm just trying to print, okay. So let me run this program, okay, let me run this program. I will come here. After that, say python student.py. See, it's giving something, okay, it's giving something. uh, let me write here, so let me come here. I will say comment this. After commenting, what I will say, print, several prints I have used, so it is a student.py, right. So accessing a student, perfect. So let me run again. See, this is what you have got, because I have used help before that. That's why it's for printing right now. You can see the name of the student is Apurva. The age of the student is 36. The marks of the student is 78. Right? Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
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 Now what I want from your side. Now the same, the logic is clear, whatever I have explained here. Whatever I have explained here, the logic is clear that how to create a class by using class keyword, how to create an object by using class name followed by parenthesis, how to access that object by creating an reference variable and assigning this object to this reference variable, right? After that, how we can access all the variables and methods of this class by using this reference variable dot that property or method. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, is it clear? Now what I want both of you to create one object more. Okay, this is the program. I will copy and just pass you in chat box. And I want both of you to just create one object here. Okay, one object here. And after that, just pass back to me. Is it clear? I have just sent you the chat box. Just create your own object and try to access the object's properties. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, just do it now.
Sir, nothing is coming in chat box.
Nothing is coming in chat box.
Actually, the chat box is only allowed for team members. It is showing chat is in channel meeting is only available to team members.
Yes, sir. For
Okay,
me, also it's coming same.
okay. Yeah, because today I just included and because some demo student was supposed to attend, that's why I haven't added you as a team. Okay, so you both of you just ping me personally and send your email IDs. I will add you in this group. Okay, so now onwards, whatever there will be, you are going to just all those things through this channel only. Okay, now. Let me, okay, fine. So let me say that you want to create one more object. You will say a student two, okay? A student two, and you said that a student two is going to contain one more student object. A student three, a student three, it is also going to contain what a student object, right? But if I'm going to run, okay, if I will say that, okay, print the name of second is, okay, second student is, I will say student second dot name, right? The same thing I will say the third, okay, third, and here I will just write three, right? Three. But just see, if I'm going to run this program, what you are going to see what you see that for second student Apurva only, for third student Apurva only. Why so? If I'm creating multiple objects, then my aim should be to just change some properties, right?
In main
Yes,
class, self dot name is Apurva, so it is giving same name.
yes, because we have set some default properties, right? We have set some default properties. So if we want our properties to be here, then we need to override those properties. Okay, we need to override those properties. How we can do that? So we need to pass at the time of object creation only. We need to pass. So this class has three properties. What are those? So name, age, marks. So I will say this time Snehal. Okay, so name should be Snehal and marks, age should be I will say 24 and marks should be something called 67. Okay, and now if I'm going to run this, so this time I have tried to see what it is giving. It is giving an error. Okay, what error you are going to get? You are saying that type error init takes one positional argument, but you are giving four. See here, by default, I am trying to pass only three argument, but one default argument self will be always there. Okay, so it's saying that you have this init method, which is what init method. It helps to initialize your class. Okay, it helps to initialize an object. Okay, so it says that your object has, okay, init dunder method containing only one argument, but you are passing what, 4 positional arguments. So if you want to make your class dynamic, or if you want to create an class which can create as many object with their own values, then you need to create a class or loosely coupled class. Okay, so that it can take the values from what, from each particular object. How to do that? So to do that, I will have to tell here that okay, my like constructor is going to, while creation of object, I expect name, okay, age and marks from what, from the user. Okay, I expect, I expect name, age, marks from the user, and those expected name, age, marks I'm going to assign to this my class name variable, class age variable, and class marks variable. It is not compulsory that this name should be the name only. I will say it as obj name for your what, for your convention. Okay, I will say obj age. It means that the age variable passed at the time of what, object creation. Okay, for the time being I'm going to write, I will say that this self name, this class name is going to be equal to what, object name. Okay, object name. And this class is going to be equal to what, object age. And this class marks, it is going to be equal to what, object marks. Is it clear? Now, in this case, if I'm going to create what, if I'm going to create, see what it is saying, student 3. See, now it's saying that you are trying to create an object, okay, of a class, which expects what, at least 3 arguments. Now, if you want to create the create an object of this class, then there is a what, there is a you can say bond which you need to fulfill. What is the bond? The bond is that while creation of class, this what, creation of object of this class or the object expects what, 3 values from your side. Okay, what are those? So to create that object, you need to provide the name of that object, the age of that object, and marks of the object. So see, I will say okay, so I will create one more. Purva is 36, marks what, 87. And again here I will create one more. I will say Python age, I will say 89, marks I will say 100. Okay, and now if I'm going to run it, okay, see, now if I'm going to run it, it performs very well. You are going to see each different object. See, is it clear, guys? So here first Apurva stops, it is going to show. Okay, after that what is what it says, it shows that the second student is Snehal and the third student is Python, right? In the same way you can access the second student age and second student marks as well. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, Snehal, from your side,
yes, yes, clear.
any questions? Any
Sir,
question from your side,
if
guys?
we want some by default value, then we have to pass in class main that obj equal to the here only. In init method
uh,
only we pass.
yes, we need to pass here only. If you want that default, that should be, if you want that that variable should be created, or that variable should be initialized at the time of object creation. These all function, these all variables are these all variables allocated their memory at the time of object creation. So if you want some variable at the time of object creation, then you need to keep those variables inside this dunder init method. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will try to explain more in object today. Just we started that too with very late. We just wasted some of our time. So from tomorrow at sharp like 6:30, we will start our class and try to hold till 8. Okay, so that we can complete soon, but not by notification of this class. Okay. Fine. I will try to copy this all code and try to paste it here. Staying here. So if you are going to write, or if you are going to run, so the output which you are going to get is will be writing the output as well. So after coming here, this is the output you are going to get. Apurva, you need to improve a little more in coding, okay? And I haven't. I have just gone through the code, whatever you have written.
Okay, sir.
So initially it's good, but as soon as the complexity from module 3, you have couple of like problem. Okay, I haven't gone very deep so that I can identify and just point out to you that okay, here you have done mistake due to lack of time. But yeah, soon before the next like test, I am going to disclose. Okay, that where you have made the mistake, I will be like taking a class. There I'm going to just ask both of you to like I will be keeping a coding session actually after this, whenever in a week, and then on that day I will just ask you interview questions and you need to finish within a time, okay, within a time minute, so that you can improve some of your aptitude, okay, and DS based on what Python. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Nihal.
As you said, DS, so will it be necessary to learn complex data structure like trees, linked list, stack?
What kind of job you want? What kind of job you want?
Job.
If you want to grow more, then DS is like personal feeling. Like I'm struggling right now. Okay, why? Because I'm from EC background, and initially I had like my DS was not too strong. Okay, that's why like I struggle a lot. Look, if you are looking for a service-based company, they don't expect much of data structure from your side. Okay, but if you are going to be in product-based company, first thing they will ask you the core like subjects like DS, DBMS. Okay, they don't ask that whether you know Python or C or Java. They will ask that okay, single language you know. Now by using that language, how complex problem you can solve. So problem solving is the main like aim that should be from your side. And this is what mistake I did. Initially, I learned very like versatile, like lots of language, but there is no use of those languages because you need to work like years just settling down on a single language. If your concept is going to be clear to solve a particular solution, the syntax you can learn or just take from here and there from internet, because at the end, what is programming language? It is the syntax or grammar rules given by some website or some firm, right? Which we are going to use to just automate our machine. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So if you are going to know the concept of automation or the concept how machine exactly works and what are different steps we need to do in certain like conditions, then that is more important. That's why managers are paid more after 5 or 6 years. Why? They don't code us actually. They just give the solution. And for that solution only, they charge a lot. Consultant, like senior consultant of a company, what they do? They don't do coding actually. They just try to use their experience and their technical knowledge, like logical knowledge. Okay, not they will try sit and write code. The we as a developer or senior developers or someone who is more in coding is going to write the code, but they will just design the complete infrastructure or design the software, and after that assign you the task to write write the code for software according to their need. They will try to, if you want to write an efficient code, then definitely you should be good in data structure. Yes, but it's not a compulsory thing. If you are thinking a lot, then it's not a compulsory thing to just mug up heavy complex data structure. As of now, whatever you can learn, you just try it from your side. Apart from that, just working in industry, you will get to know the importance, and after that, you can switch. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's my personal experience. Like I have given near about 30 interviews. In all those 30 interviews, what I was lacking in was data structure. Okay. After that only I just settled down for my first job. So from there, like it was not no like that. There was like they used to ask very basic things of data structure, and I was not able to answer at that time. Okay. So
But
as time went, I started working. Yeah.
mhm. So, and the company which you have searched was from app like LinkedIn, or like you
Look,
go on in company.
depending upon locations. Yes, yes. So depending upon locations and company brand, okay, the interview questions changes. For example, if you are going to search in Bangalore, then there DS will be a lot. Okay, DS will be a lot. If you are going in Hyderabad, then there they will expect technologies are more. Okay, they will expect a lot of technologies apart from the DS. That they also expect DS, but they will not give that much importance. They want you versatile. Okay. When it comes to MNCs, then they want like a core concept, okay, any language and some experience. Because if you will try as a fresher, then they will expect aptitude from your side. Okay. Yes, is it clear to both of you?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. We will meet tomorrow. Okay, at the same time with the same link. Just ping me on both of your email IDs. I will add you to the group. Okay.
I will send on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Thanks a lot.